Hey guys, welcome back to the Chaotic Kitz channel, where I, Michelle, document my life here on YouTube as I try to become a full-time author while also traversing the world's multiple personalities. If that sounds interesting to you, stick around. But today I'm going to take you in what a day in the life for me looks like. I am a 26-year-old, well, okay, I'm technically only 25. 25-year-old single person who has multiple projects she's working on, and hopefully kind of coming up with a new routine for myself as well, just because I want to do more with my time. So if that sounds interesting, stick around, and yeah, let's get into this. Hey guys, so today is March 5th. I'm going to change my calendar here because I need to. But so today I'm going to take you on a day in life for me. So before I get started, I just want to kind of do an introduction to who I am. So my name is Michelle. I am somebody who has some sort of dissociative disorder. This is either OSDD, which is other specified dissociative disorder, or DID, which is dissociative identity disorder. I've never been officially diagnosed with anything. Like, I've never gone to a psychologist and done all the I call them exams, but done all the tests, done all the, I guess, tests. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, but all these I can't really say exams. Assessments, that's the word I was looking for. But doing all these assessments just to get an idea. But I will say back in 2022 or 2023, I did go to a mental hospital, and that was like the prime time of when my alters, which are what I call my other parts of me, really started to come out. And let's just say the one that came out that was really abrupt was very aggressive, and he told me his name, and he was not a good guy. But like I was so kind of concerned about that. I was like, can we just like do some kind of test? Like, I feel like I'm a different person. And like after this person came out, I was like, I feel like I just got hit by a bus. Like, I don't know how else, like, not necessarily hit by a bus, but like it was so like I registered that I was different, and like even the other patients at the mental health hospital were like, you changed. And I'm like, okay, we need, like, I know, like, my family has called me sometimes, like, they used to say that I was, like, bipolar, but there's been points wherever my brother and my mom, my dad were like, you switch, like, you are not the same person every time. Now my dad never said it that way, he was just like, get your shit together kind of thing. But yeah, so I had a fun family. But so back in 2023, they gave me a rough diagnosis of dissociative identity disorder. Went back to living with my brother, and after that, like, my alters slowly came out more. And yeah, that's kind of how things evolved. But I will say this channel is not all about my mental health. We'll probably talk a lot about it today just because you'll see the ups and downs, hopefully. But I will say my main reason for this channel is because I am an author. I write in 3 different pen names, which each one of the pen names are also alters within my system. There is Grace, there's Shelly, and there's Maris. Maris is kind of taking a hiatus right now. She's doing some, what I call soul searching. I know that she is slow, like, there's been this shift in our system where there's some people, like, I can't describe this any other way, but like, people are evolving, like, they're becoming not different, but like, they're slowly becoming more who they want to become. I think is how I want to describe it. I have honestly no idea, but like, I just think of it like Pokemon evolving, like, they're evolving. But so Maris is currently evolving. She's finding herself in the chapel. I say, like, we do have internal chapel in our head, because our religion is so important to us. And then there is Grace, who writes our religious books. I don't know, I was gonna talk more about her, but I was like, I don't think we've ever, like, I know some people, whenever they talk about like their DID or OSDD, they're like, oh, this person is like a like a 23-year-old person, you know, but I'm like, my alters don't personally have different ages, if that makes sense. Like, yes, there's a few that you can tell are older based on like their appearance, how they hold themselves, or how I like hold, like how I envision almost, but like how we represent in the head. We don't see visual hallucinations typically, but it's all internal that we're like, oh, this person is currently at the control panel talking. Super weird to describe. But so, there's Maris, who's working on herself, Grace, who is working on our spiritual books. She writes picture books and also a young adult novel, about, currently about a teenager who has some sort of dissociative disorder too, as he is discovering himself and his system. Then there is Shelly, who writes those books up there. They are called the Bugztopia PD series, which I will go ahead and show you one of the books. This is book 4. This series was a book series that she wrote for our nephew. And basically for Shelly, like, well, I would say for everybody, everyone in our system cares a lot about our family. We are the youngest out of 4 kids. We do come from a huge family though. So our dad has 12 brothers and sisters, not including who they're married to. And then my mom has 8 siblings. Again, not counting the ones that they're related to. Married to. And there's 40 grandkids on one side, almost 30 on the other. And then there's great grandkids too. And I would say that we're close to them, but also it's hard to be close to people anymore since we're so recluse and don't want to go outside because people are stressful, especially people who you've known your entire life, and I have to put up a front because I don't want them to see all of us, if that makes sense. I don't know, it's so complicated to say. And I'm also kind of surprised, like, we're so okay talking about this right now, like, in front of a camera that's going to be put out into the world, just because it is something that's, like, our family never grew up on. And, like, I may be 25, but my family didn't get internet. There was no internet. The only reason I had a computer was because it was school assigned. Yeah, so I never had any, like, when I got homework, I would have to go, like, I would just have to get it done at school because that was the only internet I had. Yeah, so it's been difficult. Not difficult, but it's been a roller coaster, and like how I kind of came up to being an author. Like, I have no idea how that happened. But yeah. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. Anyways, okay. So I was gonna say, this is just my personal day. I am somebody who is 25. I am single. I have no other people living in this house. I spend 95% of my day at this computer. If I'm not here, I'm out for a walk or I'm at a local church. I was born and raised Catholic. Getting back into my Catholic faith, I have a Bible. I have rosaries next to me. I have a lot of different things next to me to kind of, like, this desk is where I spend most of my time at. And maybe I'll kind of give you a glimpse at what everything on my desk looks like, just because it is kind of chaotic. But it's also, like, organized. Like, I know where everything is. But yeah, so I think I'm going to take a little break because I am spiraling right now. But I will come back and I will tell you guys what the game plan for the day is, okay? So I'll see you guys in a little bit, okay? Bye! Okay, guys, it is currently, like, 9:50. I plan on doing, like, a full day of work today. Maybe taking a break from, like, noon to 3-ish, just because, around 11 I eat, and then I like to go to a church and pray a rosary, which I do plan on doing today. But so today I want to do as much work as possible. I think I'm going to take this morning and do some journaling, just because I enjoy journaling. It helps me, my system, process what's going on in our head. Sometimes we talk about each other, like our system, how we talk about each other. Sometimes we just talk about a subject that's on our mind. Basically, this all kind of comes, just like what we do is with this journal, like every other week we have therapy. And so that the Sunday before our therapy, we send our journaling notes to our therapist. I mean, not journaling notes, but our journal to our therapist. It helps her get to understand us more. Just because, like, it is so complicated. Not complicated, but it is hard to understand us without, like, as much as, like, we enjoy therapy and, like, open up, it's still hard because there's some of us in our system that just don't like talking about feelings and emotions. It's something we're trying to work on, but it's also hard just because, like, whenever we start crying, especially this one altar, he's very much like, I am done. You are not getting anything else out of me. It's kind of always been that way, even whenever we didn't know we were a system. But yeah, so he's always a fun character to be around. Not character, but he's a fun guy to be around, I think. But so we are going to do that. We are going to take, I never set a timer for, like, how long it takes us to journal. Sometimes it takes us 30 minutes of writing. Sometimes it takes us an hour. We're just going to write and let our feels feel. I think I kind of know the topic we want to talk about. It's going to be kind of about our religion. Did I tell you guys I'm born and raised Catholic, getting back into my Catholic faith. But also, like, this is just going to be, because, okay, so we've had this kind of, like, okay, how do I put this? We were joking, or not really joking, like, part of it was joking, but also part of it was real. We were talking to our friend of ours who, we met at this local Catholic shop. We view her as our spiritual grandmother. We see a lot of people as our spiritual grandmother. Just people, like, somebody that we connect, like, she just feels like our spiritual grandmother to me. And so I half joked to her, I was like, oh, I'm going to, like, I want to possibly become a nun, you know? And she was like, I see that for you. Like, she was like, I had a vision about that. And I'm like, what? Like, I was not expecting her to say that. And I was just like, what do you mean you've had a vision of that? And she's just like, I don't know, I've just seen you possibly becoming a nun. And I'm like, I don't know how I like that feeling. But I'm like, okay, if she, I don't know, it just was like, okay, maybe I could possibly become a nun. Like, I don't know, I was just like, is that a possibility for me? Like, and I did a little bit of research on it, not too much, I didn't go in depth too much. But I was like, do I want to become a nun? And, yeah, we're kind of working through our emotions on it. I know we brought it up to our dad one time, and Dad was like, he laughed at us. Dad straight up laughed at us and was like, oh yeah, like, you could ever become a nun. And I'm just like, dude, I hate you. It's just how Dad is. But, you know, it's just, I don't know, it was just hard. But, like, it just keeps replaying in our head, and especially as we continue to grow in our faith, we're reading more spiritual books, we're reading the Bible, we're praying more rosaries, like, it just kind of makes sense. And, like, I don't know, like, it's something that we're seriously kind of thinking about, but also, like, we kind of have an idea of how our life wants to be, but I know it's not our choice, it's kind of God's choice and kind of God's way of wanting things to happen. But it's still just like, could this be a thing? Like, we talked about this with our therapist a little bit yesterday, well, on Tuesday, and we were like, we feel like we could, but the other part was like, whenever we first Googled it, we were like, they have to be, like, physically, like, not physically, but they have to be healthy. And now, we're like, what's the definition of healthy? Because, like, healthy could mean physically healthy. Healthy could mean spiritually healthy. Someone could say mentally healthy. And I'm like, I wouldn't say that we're unhealthy. It's just we're unsure. And like obviously my game plan, if we ever did become a nun, we wouldn't do it until after our dad died, and after we got this house finished. Did I tell you guys, I live in this house. It is it's under my name, and I pay all the bills, even though my brother helps me. But I'm like, I've been having, sights, almost visions that I'm almost hallucinating, but it's more like they're internal, movies that's playing out, someone, I don't know who it is, but it's like someone is making a video of, what could possibly happen if we did this. And, it would just be interesting, because, we're like, well, what would happen to the house, yes, this is our house, but I'm like, if, say, someone, if we did become a nun, obviously our life would completely change. We wouldn't have all this, or I don't think we would. And I'm just like, what would we do? And I don't know. It was just interesting to be sit down and think, what would we do with this house? And obviously we would kind of want it to stay in our name. But also we had this idea of what if we were to not necessarily sell the house, but remodel it, get it to the point that it is structurally good. Well, not structurally, but it is equipped for a family to live in it. Painted, repainted walls, house wall, everything looks good. What if I were to then kind of put it up for sale, but have more a renter that is a long-term renter, just because I'm what if they can't afford the house? Then I'll have, I don't know, I just have an idea of having a family live here, kind of like a rental, but I pay the bills for it. But I'm I don't know. I got so many ideas, and donate this to a family in need kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know, but I have to wait until it sounds terrible to say. I'm waiting for us to get the remodels done, just so then that'll give me plenty of time to really sit down and think, is this a possibility I want to do? And then, I'm okay, that's probably going to be a 4 or 5 year process, because we're doing one side of the house each year. So we're working on the south side right now. We ordered windows. But I'm also we might take an extra year to have someone pay to do the upstairs windows, just because they are 2 stories high. My dad is 73, I think? Or is he 74? I honestly can't remember how old that man is. But he's obviously in his not obviously, but he's in his 70s. And I'm just okay. He acknowledges he's unsafe, so it's and I'm not okay with being on the roof, because we have a weird roof, but also I don't know, I don't want to be up on the scaffolding because I'm scared of scaffolding. So I'm what if we paid someone to do just the windows upstairs? Just get that done. So I'm okay, that could be a year project by itself, because there's 4 windows. But this year we're working on the bottom half of the south side, which is a 30 by 12, so 30 feet by 12 feet high, with 3 windows in it. We ordered the windows yesterday, and it's just okay, we can get that done, but yeah, I don't know. I have plans, have ideas, but I'm I don't know necessarily if I could do it. I don't know. But also, that's kind of why we're journaling and talking about, if we became a nun, and if we would be okay with that fact. Just because, and, none of, I don't know if okay is the right word, but, we've really, we're only 25, like I said, and we would really like to just become more with our spiritual faith. I don't really know, but, yeah, we're just thinking about things, and I don't know what else to say. But we're going to journal about this, really have a sit-down conversation with each other. And this will probably lead into other conversations too, but you never know. So we've got our journal pulled up. We've got a YouTube video by Vixen of the Fiction, by Nia. I probably won't leave a link to it down below. But I'll watch that for the first bit until that video's ended. I've already watched half of it. And I'll switch to a different video and continue to write after that. I don't know what we'll do. So, yeah. I'll see you guys in a little bit, okay? Bye! Hey guys, so I didn't actually, I got done with my journaling session. I then went down to eat. The reason I didn't do I don't know if I told you, I wanted to do my picture book before lunch, but my sister called and we just talked for a while. So I didn't do the picture book, but I did at least get to the journaling. Some things that I noted, I didn't actually talk about with my altars about the saints that I wanted to do possibility. I mean, not the saints, but becoming a nun. But one of my littles, so, littles are basically like children altars, but not really children altars. They're more like altars that are, yes, part of me. They are part of me, but they identify as a younger age. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but they are just younger. We have 3 littles, like 3 technically littles. One is 5, the other is, I think, 8, and then the other one is 12. Those ones are the only ones that really have ages to them. And then we also have a higher, like, there's 3 different levels almost. There's the littles, the teenagers, and then the adults, or the ones that more represent adults, based on their behaviors and stuff. But so the teenagers are teenagers, but, the littles, one of the littles, the 12-year-old, came out and she is like really questioning, she questions a lot if we do have dissociative identity disorder or a OSDD, because we watch a lot of fake people, like people fake claiming people, and, you know, it does bother her a little bit, and, you know, people probably think we're faking it too a lot of the time, but, you know, it's just how the world works. People are gonna fake claim us, they're gonna fake claim anybody and everybody, because it's something that's, I don't want to say new, but like people talking about it is new. Yeah, so it's just fun. But yeah. And then we also did like a side note for our therapist, because we talked about this one's altar that I kind of knew about, but not necessarily completely knew about. I just knew her name. But we journaled about how this altar, there's like a family of altars. Like a lot of my system members are families or like have sibling relationships. Not all of them, but there's a good portion. There's like 4 of these like little, well, I say little, but there's 4 of these girls, that are like, sometimes they'll be their own individuals. Sometimes whenever they're all out and about, they will kind of form together and like create what I would best associate with like a Power Ranger or a Hydra, like having multiple heads and stuff. It's really interesting. This isn't the first time that I registered it as like a Hydra or as a Power Ranger, because the fusion that we recently had between 3 of our altars, they kind of right now look like a Hydra, but also not. But yeah, it was really interesting. But like the Power Rangers analogy really works for them, because like each one of our altars has a color that's associated with them. And these 4 sisters all have like reddish purplish colors that reflect them. And we also have like little dolls in our head for our nighttime person, or like the person who manages us at night. Like, and also like if we're having a rough time, this doll will like activate, or like the string that connects the doll to the person will like vibrate almost is the best way I can describe it, or like go on the fritz, and that will show that whoever this person is in the back office, like lobby area, not lobby area, but like the back office main control panel, like techie side, they will know like, okay, we need to start start implementing some coping skills to calm this person down and stuff. Yeah, so it was really interesting. And then the 12-year-old also brought up the fact that like people say that animal fictives are like, not fictives, animal altars are fake. Like anyone who has an animal altar is fake. But I'm like, our person was like, yes, I get that, but also it's not like our animal altars like control the body as much as like the human altars do. Like the animal altars that we have, there's two of them. One's a bear, one's a mountain lion. Like these two, like they're more like internal coping skills that we have. Like whenever, say, someone's needing them, they will come up and curl next to you, and like we'll start hearing like, gosh, we sound crazy when we say this, but like we'll feel their fur underneath of us. We'll feel them purring. We'll just feel and have like visual sensory of the things around, like of that animal. It's just how it is. And like they don't physically take over the body. They are just there to comfort the body. Yeah, I don't know if this is making sense. And maybe we're going too much into detail, but this is what a day in the life is like. Just doing a lot of soul searching, I guess. But yeah, so that was that. We wrote about 857 words in our journal today, which is good. We did say that we'd come back maybe and talk about our fact that we might want to become a nun, maybe, or we'll do a nighttime writing journaling thing, because what we haven't been doing this for a while, but what we want to do is like, so let me just give you a rundown of how like the rest of the day is going to work. So we've already ate lunch. We are actually going to probably go on a little trip. I don't know if I'll take you or not, but we'll see. Take a little trip to one of the local churches around here, pray a rosary, just pretty much praying for the lost souls, the souls in purgatory, the people related to that parish and stuff, and stuff like that. And then also probably just take some time and just be like, like, God, what's your plan for us, kind of thing. So we'll do that. That should probably take us like an hour to do, I'd say. And then we'll come back home and work on our picture book. Did I say we wanted to work on our picture book? We did, I think. But we are working on picture books. Grace is about different saints. The saint we're currently working on for Grace is Saint Francis of Assisi. We actually, so let me take this off real quick. I don't know if I've ever showed you guys this necklace that I wear, but it is got the miraculous medals, or just medals of different saints on it. So there's this one, which I don't even know what this is called. I've just had it forever and I've never worn it. It did come on a metal chain, but I started getting a rash from it, so I was like, okay, I need to not have this metal one on and put it on a string instead. Then there's the Virgin Mary miraculous medal. On the edge it says, "O Mary, conceived without sin, pray for us and who all have recourse to you." Yeah. And then we just added this one, which is Saint Francis of Assisi. And on the back it says, "Pray for us." Yeah, so we wear this every day. We even wear it at night. The reason we wear it is because, like, we just have a deep connection with Mary. But also, like, there's been people say, like, there's been accounts of people who wear the miraculous medal having, like, I don't want to say supernatural, but miracles performed on them, and how, like, they heal and stuff. And honestly, I feel the same way. Like, my fusion with my altars, like, that wouldn't have happened. That would have been a lot longer of a process if I didn't have, I think, as long as I didn't have the miraculous medal on me, so that's something interesting. But so I'm going to go pray the rosary, then work on picture books, possibly also work on my middle grade book, and that'll be the rest of the day. But after we eat supper, we'll have a routine. Excuse me, we'll have a routine and we'll show you that. But yeah, I say let's just go pray a rosary. I think I'm gonna go to my a church up north. It's an absolutely beautiful church. I don't think I'll show you the inside of it. And I'm not gonna tell you which church it is just because it is super close to me. And it's up in Northeast Kansas. What I'll tell you is it's I think it's one of those 7 wonders of Catholic. I don't remember what it was, but it's one of the 7 wonderful, beautiful churches in Kansas. I don't remember exactly what it is, but there is a book about this church and how pretty it is. Yeah, so I'm gonna go do that. And I will see you guys maybe up at the church. Otherwise, yeah, I'll just see you guys later, okay? Bye! Hey guys, we're at a different angle now. But so I just got done. It's 1:20 right now. I just got done at my local church, or at least, actually I went to an adoration hall instead, which is basically a place where the Eucharist, the body of Christ, is on, I don't want to say display, but it's there for people to really be in the presence of God. I prayed a rosary there. It was good. I still continue to feel called to become a priest. I mean, not a priest. Be called to be a sister and stuff, which I don't know. I'm so hesitant to do anything about becoming a nun or becoming a sister, just because I'm scared that I will kind of resort back to the old way of Michelle. I don't know, the old way of being so just depressed and not having the ability, but not having the desire to be there in the presence of God or do anything like that. But I'm I just feel called to do something more with my life. I feel called more, as much as I love this house in my life currently, I feel drawn more to doing something outside of my small community, outside of this little town. Not necessarily this little town's bad or anything, it's just I feel called to do something and I just can't decipher what it is. And that's honestly, I feel because I have so many voices, and I say so many voices, which are my altars, but there's 20, 30 of us here, and it's hard to decipher how things work. And I believe I told you guys how the journaling session, I have 4 altars who are sisters that sometimes they're individuals, but yet they come together to form a Power Ranger, Transformer kind of thing. And I'm just I don't know. And there's I feel there's so many different parts of me and so many different aspects of my life. I'm would a sister life or being a nun, would that work for me? But I definitely just feel called to something more, something grander, I don't know. Something as much as I love my books, I just feel something more. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking. But I'm gonna finish this video. I am watching Brielle's. It's her writing retreat with her writing group, which I have always wanted to do, but I'm just scared to commit to people. But then I'm going to go and work on my picture book about Saint Francis of Assisi. I am going to get that as finalized as I possibly can, as perfect as I'm going to get it. And then I am going to send it to my local priest and maybe the priest that I just went to for where the adoration hall is. So yeah, that's what the game plan is. I will see you guys maybe before I get started writing or some other thing, some other time. I don't know, but I'll see you guys later, okay? Bye! Hey guys, so it's about 2:20 right now. I still have a little bit of energy left to do today. I still feel pretty good. But I got done with the edits for Saint Francis of Assisi's picture book. I ended the book, I think, at 1,100 words. I think I'm not going to be able to change anymore because I just keep adding words to it. But so I sent that off to my editor. She might get back to me within, well, I was gonna say within the week, but we've only got 2 days left. But probably next week I'll hear back from her. Like I said, it's only 1,000 words long. So hopefully I'll hear back from her. I'm doing this before I send it off to Priest, just because I was like, I feel like I need her feedback before I do Priest. But yeah, I'm doing that. So maybe by the end of the month, I might be able to possibly start querying for this book, I'm not sure. Or like sending it off to other, like to local, I say local, but like to Catholic school, to Catholic publishing houses and see what happens, But yeah, I'm super excited about that. I love the book. I loved what I wrote, so I think that's good. But I was originally going to work on Bugztopia book 8 today. But I kind of came up to the realization as I was sending my email off to my editor, I was like, I told her I was going to send her Act 2 last month. And I'm like, I did not do that. And so I'm like, I really need to get back onto Act 2, JJ's story. So if you guys do not know, JJ's story is my young adult Christian fiction book about a teenager who has some sort of dissociative disorder. Something similar to me, but it's him discovering that he is a system and really learning how to work within his system. So I'm going to be working on that. I already edited Act 2, which I gave to her. I implemented her changes and did a round of edits and stuff. So that is, I think, really good. Now I'm going to move on to Act 2 and do my self-edits before I send it off to her. Because, like, there's things that I can obviously change so she can focus on other things. But, like, I switch present and past tense a lot in story, like, when I was writing. So I was like, I need to work on that. Also, just make sure that I've got all, like, just the minute details all figured out. So then I'm not adding a whole bunch of words before, like, after I get it back from her kind of thing, So I'm going to do that. I think need to almost cross off my calendar because I need to cross off Tuesday, Wednesday, and probably today. But my goal is to have this edits done by the 31st at the latest. There's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 8 chapters that I need to edit. So I should be able to get that plenty done by the 31st. Then I can start Act 3 words in April. Then I'll worry about Bugztopia edits kind of thing. Yeah, that's what's going to happen next. I'm half tempted to go out for a walk right now because it is 2:55, so maybe I go for a walk. Probably need to go for a walk. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a walk real quick. Then we will come back, work on JJ's project, and yeah, we'll do that. So I'll see you guys after my walk, okay? Bye. Hey guys, so it's about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock time frame. I ate, I did my walk, I went to talk to my sister, had a lot of fun, but now I'm sitting down to do like my evening prayer time. This is something I do every night, or at least try to do every night. Sometimes it is hard just because my altars don't want us to do it, or we're so spacey that we can't focus on prayer time. But so what we do is we have 2 stacks of like spiritual stuff that we have next to us. So one stack has our rosary that we always use for tonight's prayer. We have a book called The Lives We Actually Have. This we're doing daily readings of / prayers since Lent is here. Then we also have been reading the Do Something Beautiful for God. This has like daily like things to note kind of thing. I think I want to just read this as a whole and maybe journal about it kind of thing, because I'm like, I think the way I'm reading it right now doesn't fully grasp like the messages that I'm supposed to read, but I'll continue to do this. I also then have just this notebook. I usually have it closed. But this basically is, so after I do the rosary, I will then journal and pretty much thank God for the day. Do things like be grateful, thank you, maybe have some smaller prayers, be like, hey, I'm worrying about this, pray for me kind of thing. But then I also have these note cards. These have the 4 different mysteries of the rosary on it. For Lent, I'm supposed to be praying the sorrowful mysteries. I've said 3 sorrowful mysteries today, so I think I'm good. Well, this is the 3rd. But yeah, it's got the sorrowful mysteries, what they are, and then kind of like a little bit like you're supposed to consider like sorrows of sin and stuff like that. But today I'm going to be dedicating this rosary that I'm about to pray to a specific person, like a classmate of mine. Whenever I was in middle school, like I would pray the rosary. I'm praying this rosary for him and his family. I did this for my other 6 classmates. I'm going to, after I get these 6 classmates done, then I'll go into my cousin, like my families, my aunts and uncles' families. I could do all my classmates, but honestly, I don't remember all their names, and I don't know their families. But I can always just be like one for my class of 2019 kind of thing. And then after that, I'll go into the Bible in a year. I'm on day 69 of it. Right now, we're in the desert wanderings. But yeah, that's the game plan there. Then after that, I think I am going to try to read something. So I have a book back there. It's called The 3 Ordinary Voices of God. I am wanting to read chapter 2 today, and typically whenever I read books, I usually listen to something in the background. Typically it's like J.C. Carpenter's writing vlogs. I'm watching them all back again, and then just reading as I'm listening to it. Like, it's not really listening, it's just background noise, because I live in an old house and it creaks and I make noises, so I like to zone out that noise kind of thing. But yeah, that's the game plan. I was also gonna say, I got back from my editor. I heard back from my editor. She said she should be able to get the picture book done by tomorrow. So that will be awesome. I am a little nervous about it because the next step with the picture book is to send it to priests and get their feedbacks on it. A little nervous about it. When I was talking to my sister, I told her this, and she's like, so who are you going to have as your illustrator for it? And I'm like, I think I'm going to try to, this is the game plan. I'm going to try to get some Catholic publishing houses. Like, I'm going to query certain ones and be like, hey, you know, could you help me publish this kind of thing? I'm not really sure, but the idea is to get a Catholic publishing house, have them print the books, because they'll be able to pay for the illustrators. I'm unfortunately unable to do that. But once the editors, and once that all happens and the publishing house look at it, and then the ideal goal is, like, after I've done so many picture books and after JJ's story is finished, then they would pick up my young adult novels as well. Yeah. So that's kind of all that's going on. Yeah, I will probably see you guys later after my prayer time. But I am just anxious to get into prayer. So I will see you guys in a little bit. Yeah, I'll see you guys later, okay? Bye. Hey guys, so it's about 6 o'clock right now. I thought I was going to do some reading, but honestly, I'm not wanting to. I need to do a little facial and also take a shower, so I'm just gonna call it quits for today. But yeah, I'm going to just do some pretty laid back night. I'm just going to upload these clips, watch a few videos while I do that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed getting to know me a little bit more, getting to kind of come into a day in the life of what it's like for me. As for the Saint book, I might record a couple clips for tomorrow, maybe on my usual camera, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what tomorrow has in store. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and remember to keep making fantasies come true, one story at a time. And I'll see you guys next time, okay? Bye!